to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, of course, everything that I'm going to talk about today makes me very, very happy, and well, makes me a teeny little bit sad because it's Ireland, and Ireland always makes me a little bit sad, but also some of the places that we're going to be visiting today are kind of a little bit sad, especially one of our first locations in Dublin. And I'm calling this Dublin-ish because it's kind of in Dublin and all around. Not a lot actually in Dublin City, though a few choice places are going to be there. Well, before we get started, I triggered Archer Collins. I was with you until you mentioned that film. I have issues with that film too. I have some historical issues with it. However, as a piece of movie making, it's very good. And I know people like to see the location. So there we are. It is Dad Man Walking. Dad Man Walking. Potato Raven. Well, Boyle, can I borrow your phone to ring on to LOL? Actually, you probably know a lot more even about some of this. Just so you know, we're going to be visiting Kilmainham Jail. I think it's an area in Dublin everyone needs to go visit, and a lot of people don't know about. Everyone wants to go see the Book of Kells. Actually, I don't know what else people know to go to in Dublin. Tourists, maybe the Guinness factory. St. Stephen's Green, of course, is a big one for me, and Gretchen Street. We're going to see that here too. Gosh, is that the right name? I don't remember these names. When you're a kid, it's all weird. If I remember correctly, Dublin means something akin to Black Lake. Valia Ahaclia does mean that. Dublin means something. Oh, wait, Dublin. You're right. No, Valia Ahaclia is the real name for it. It translates to like something over the swamp. I'm feeling very self-conscious because Potato Revan is here and he has already corrected the way I say Slán Lat. Look, I said it right. Slán Lat. But Dublin, yes, it's from the word dove, black. Potato Revan can help me out. My great-great-grandfather cousin was Sheet. There's Michael Collins. Yes, of course. Archer Collins. Yeah, what does actually Dublin mean? Dublin... I don't know why it has something that's so completely different. Because when you got Cork is Corkig, which is the same idea. Yeah, it means Dove Lynn or Black Pool. And Volia Ahaclia is like the land between the something or other. Originally a Viking settlement. Please correct me if I got that wrong. No, all of these cities were essentially founded by Vikings. Understand that the Irish people weren't living really along the coasts. They had all the cattle people and all that in the center. And yes, the Vikings would come and raid, and then they'd go, hey, let's stick around here. I know Cork was like that, Kinsale, and Dublin, of course. Waterford, I believe, as well. Potato Revan, yes, you're right. Oh, good, thank goodness. Yes, I'm feeling very, very self-conscious. And the reason, again, why I called it Dublinish is because we're going to go around the areas of Dublin. Unfortunately, Dublin is a little bit nuts right now. It's been for quite a while. Like all big cities. Potato Revan. Waterford is the oldest city founded in 70 AD. There you go. Oh, gosh. And we're never going to hear the end of it. Never going to hear the end of it. My gosh. Yeah. Valia Ahaclia. What even? Yeah, I'm feeling very self-conscious. Make sure. Oh, my gosh. My mother called. CLIATH. What does that mean? It means Dublin, but it's not really Dublin. It directly translates to a nearby ford on the river made of hurdle work, ford of hurdles, and gives us a modern name for Dublin, Valia Ahaclia, town of the hurdle ford. Well, you heard it here first. 790s. Oh, okay, because that was like Jesus territory. Hi, everyone. Hello, Rocky the Black Dragon. I must ashamedly admit, says Archer Collins, that given how close the Emerald Isles is to my green and pleasant land, I don't know a great deal about Irish history. Oh, that's okay. I mean, you can only learn so much about history because it's like forever. Like when I studied history at university, I had some specialities. My specialty was Renaissance Reformation studies and its spill over into the United States. Much beyond that, uh, y- y- it's difficult. Most of what I know about Irish history was what I learned in school and from just my own studies. My parents were really self-conscious. They knew that we were very lucky being there young, so they really wanted to get us all cultured. So they would take us everywhere. And then when the families would come visit, we would take them there as well. And of course, ask the locals. They called Dublin Unclea, aka the city. Okay. There's a limit to how much history you can learn. Say it ain't so, LOL. Yeah, Genie Mac, yeah. So there's like little pockets of things that you learn. So anyway, so we are going to Dublin and Dublin-ish, Grafton Street. That's what it is. Why did I call it Gretchen Street? Oh my gosh, just shoot me dead now. And the reason why I know Grafton Street so well is because that's where they would go and do shopping. It's a walking area. So sometimes around Christmas time or the like, we'd take the train up. The parents would let us loose, which I'm still kind of disturbed about. We could have been kidnapped, run over by cars, whatever, and they would go shopping and they'd be like, "Meet us so and so." So we're gonna start on Grafton Street. I don't have pictures of St. Stephen's Green though. A lot of the pictures I do have from Dublin and Ireland are old-fashioned ones. They're over at my parents'. So I need to scan them in. But let's get ourselves oriented. We are here in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. Here is Dublin. Just to get yourself orientated. That's not even a word. We have Cork, mighty Cork. We have Waterford, which is Waterford, but still in Munster, so we're cool. And then all the way up here is Dublin. When I showed you my Cork before, I showed how I like to come into Cork. I will come over to Dublin Airport and take the train down to Cork. It's easier than going through Manchester or even Paris to get to Cork City. Wait, why is my I'm trying to make sure I can see everyone here and get you on my screen. So we're in Ireland. As if you can see a a theme, bloody tablet. LOL. Hello, it is Matt G. They call Doobie. Sometimes I've heard it called West London. Archer Collins says, I do know when he became PM, one of Gordon Brown's first acts was to replace a bust of Churchill with one of Cromwell, then invited the Taoiseach. What? No. What the? Dublinistan. Oh, you said it, not me. I wonder they have four-leaf clovers. Potato Revan. We see Cork, tiny failure of a settlement beside mighty Waterford. Hey, it's not a tiny failure. Hey, remember, we have St. Finbar. Which I guess you have St. Oran, but still, St. Finbar is cooler than that. No Archer, yeah. Oh, I'm not sure what the no is too, but it, again, I will bow down before Potato Revan on some of these because you know your own area, you know where you are. So anyway, so here we are in Dublin, Dublin City. Oh, yes, it's true. Okay, here we go. Yes, that's true. The Taoiseach walked away. Hell yes, I would've. What kind of a douche is that? If anyone doesn't know if anyone knows anything about Cromwell, you will know why that was not okay on about 1,000 different levels. Gordon Brown, which prime minister was him? Oh, these are fighting words. Saint Finbar is a saint or an simp. LOL. I will contest that. It is one of the documents of the Council of Trent that that is a lie. Right. So we're on Grafton Street now. Bewley's Cafe is the go-to place, and I was so excited when I saw that it was still there because I think that's where we were supposed to meet our mothers. They would or they would go in and have tea, and they would shove us out in the rain. Why is there a car there? No, I think cars come in and deliver. But Bewley's is just you go in and they have you can have some lunch, you can have eclairs. That's what I remember from there. Getting eclairs, get tea, get coffee, and you got to understand tea and coffee is especially tea is not just any other drink in Ireland. It is cold and it's what keeps you warm. Oh, okay, you're talking about London stand. Yes, correct. The Pratt after Tony Blair liar. Oh my gosh. Was he Labor or was he the Conservative Party? I don't know my parties. Lurking while working. Very fascinating. Yay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing uh an extravaganza. Don't you worry about the Civil War. I was thinking of maybe doing all the 3 days of Gettysburg, but that might be too much. I might just do 1 day of Gettysburg because I've got also got things going on. All right, we have Potato Reverend, the fat Scottish Prime Minister. Oh dear. All right, so go to Bewley's. You will not regret it. This is what we got. We went straight to Bewley's after we got at the airport. You know, we drove from the airport. My sister can drive in Ireland, thank goodness. And I remember this being very odd. That is a bagel. I lie not. That is a bagel. Bagels, like they didn't have bagels in Ireland when I was a kid, but I think this was like a meal thing I got. But you know, the breakfast came with a bagel, a poached egg, as you can see here, and tomatoes, typical breakfast, and a pot of tea. So yay! Potato Ribbon. I brought my ex to the cafe on Duke Street. Fella brought my current girlfriend the same place. Don't tell her. I know it's all right. Hey, we you can recycle places. Blair and Brown were nominally Labor, who basically blanked up this country. Okay, all right, yeah. Whew. Those days, those were different days. Okay, so we got some a little bit of food, Irish breakfast food porn here, except for the bagel. I don't know. I must have been hungry or something because I try not to eat things like that when I am in Ireland. Things that I can get in America, but there you are. Ah, this is a Carmelite monastery and church off of Grafton Street. Not that I'm bitter, you understand, says Archie Cohen. No, it's your country, and if you can imagine how we feel, I can imagine how you feel, and I or vice versa. I think everyone's been betrayed by their parties. But anyways, this is a Carmelite place off the street, and they have noon mass. So I stopped in for daily mass there because I'm that kind of goody Catholic girl. And lots of people were there. It's packed. People go over on their lunch break. You'll see that here, but it was on Grafton Street. So I'm like, I'm going to go to mass. Full Irish breakfasts are amazing. Oh, hell yes. You should see my picture from Kinsale, a B&B I had there. I couldn't eat it all, but I didn't care. I got the whole daggone thing. One of these days, I'm going to do a food porn, Teresa Travels, which includes, you know, Ireland and France and England. When I was in Chester, holy moly, the English high tea. Okay, thank you for everyone that's coming in. If you are not already done so, please like, share, and subscribe, and watch my videos, please. And I'm getting some watch hours, heading that last stretch to monetization. Okay, this is us driving, or rather, that's my sister driving again, and they have a sign: "Drive on left." Wait, is that German? And Condor à gauche, that's French? Wait, I guess, okay, they have links fahren. Where's the Irish? And I think is this because there's so many people maybe from overseas or something, but it's a reminder, please drive on the left. And that's what causes a lot of accidents and even deaths over there, which is why I don't try to drive over. I don't want to kill anybody, and including myself. But my sister knows how to drive over there, so she was our driver. Looks like German, yes. Yeah, that just surprises me because I'm used to seeing English and Irish on the signs, but not all those languages. Guinness, a proud sponsor of Irish rugby. This was over an overpass as we were driving through the city. This is what it looks like. So, lots of Guinness. We went once to the factory way back in the day when I was still in college with, my sister and her then boyfriend who became her husband, but we didn't have any desire to go there. Let me see, what does he say? Archer Collins says, "Moore Street is a no-go. By airport has so many reminders of roadsides." Okay. Okay, oh, not my pick. I'm gonna let y'all know that when some of these aerial ones, I wanted to do this to orient you all. This is Kilmainham Jail. Everyone needs to go see this place, in my humble opinion. It gives you a great overview of the history. It's, of course, now a museum. Let me see. I'm gonna when was it started? For over 100 years, it says, Kilmainham Jail, and it's spelled Gaol. I call it jail. Are you supposed to pronounce it like Gale? Help me out, Potato Roman. For thousands of men, women, and children for crimes that range from minor offenses to being involved in some most momentous events in Irish history, most particularly the Easter Rising and the what do they say here? The 1798 rebellion to the 1916 rising to the English-Irish War to the devastation of the Irish Civil War. And you need to get a guided tour of this place. It's a museum, but it also is just so devastating, but it's the kind of history you need to learn. Let's see. It was closed down in 1924 and became a national museum in the 1960s. I think that it has been used in some movies, the interior. Potato Room said, "How's Irish versus US Guinness?" Interesting. You know the saying that the closer you are to Dublin, the better the Guinness is. I have to say yes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the atmosphere because technically it's the same thing. Like, especially if you get the draft one, like the can where it's like an automatic draft, it should taste the same. But it's more fun in Ireland. What can I say? When I was in Dover several years ago, says Archer Cullen, the roads had signs in French reminding them to drive on the left. Okay. Gaul, like the German tribe. Okay, Gaul. So Kimim Gaul. But basically jail. Interesting. Archer Cullen says, "I pronounce the same as jail myself. Is it a Gaelic word?" Oh, well, yeah, it is an Irish word and an old pronunciation. Okay, that's what I thought. But we would call it in vernacular by jail. So here's the interior of it. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. These were the cells. And you can go in, I think the cell on the right, they do have open where one of the Easter Rising people were. I think it was like one of the women that was part of it. She was not executed. The remnants of UK control. Control. Okay. This is a very iconic scene. You can see the different tours. All right, this is the inside of this is the chapel, and as you can see, it's the older kind of style altar. So this is where we gathered for the beginning of the tour and got the overview. So that's why we're all sitting here like this. Here you can see the various cells and then the little crosswalk things by it. And I think these were used to be open, but for safety reasons they're closed and a very narrow walkway. Whoops, why is that not working? Okay, here's another view. You can see it a little bit better. Yeah, I feel the same way, Potato Reverend. Potato Reverend says, "This pic makes me sad and proud." Yeah, yeah. Ta, I thought it might have been Old English, lots of crossover guess. Yeah, and ta, that means, for those of you that don't know, thanks. It's a thing. I thought it was only said in Ireland, but I guess it's also said in Britain. Maybe is it a Northern English thing? 'Cause it always seems like on those shows, like, around Manchester or Sheffield. I'm I'm particularly thinking of the Full Monty, I remember them saying "ta," as opposed to "taw," which is a verb thing, like "tá mé go maith" in Irish. Yeah, it's really sad, and these people were heroes, and they suffered so much, and they gave their lives. They gave their lives. Alright, here is the explanation of the those that were executed, the Easter Rising ones at this location. It's now you see it in Irish and in English. That's more what's very common there. And you see what Pierce, Joseph Plunkett, John McBride, Colbert. These are names that people know. Sean McDermott, how many of them? And as you can see, they all have the same date of their death because they were all executed. There is an Irish flag there, in honor of the people. The souls who linger will never be forgotten. Nope, not at all. And you need to go there. It's very eerie. Here, let me show you this. Okay, see where the cross is? That's where they stood, where they were executed. One of the men, I forget which one, was so badly off that he couldn't stand. And they actually basically took him from a hospital bed situation and just sat him in a chair and shot him because he was so wounded. And that even then was controversial. It was like, "Whoa, that's too far." And even the Easter Rising was put down, it became like a rallying cry for the people. It inspired them. Thomas Ashe taught at my school. Okay, yeah, Thomas Ashe was the one. All right. I see. Tardiger la Eragabra. Something about Ireland, and again, I probably pronounced that wrong as well. I'm assuming an expression. Am I correct, Potato Reverend, that it would be something similar to like the Alamo, the way the Alamo is for people in Texas, where yes, they all got shot, but then in the next battle, it was all remember the Alamo. It inspired them. Yes. Okay, we're going to move on from Kilmainham Jail and from Dublin City proper. Padraig Pierce. Okay. Okay. I have a map. We are going to now move on to New Grange. New Grange. Okay, it's Raven says yes. New Grange is north of Dublin. Here's Dublin, and right here, I guess you can take M1. I don't know how to get to any of these places because when I was a kid, it was either my dad taking us, or in this case, my sister. There's probably a bus tour, but uh, you can take from Dublin. It's not very far. Our day will come, Ireland forever. Yep. Never forgotten. So what Newgrange is it's how old is it? I'm gonna look up the stats because I'm just not even gonna try to do this off the top of my head. And in Irish, it is Si on Vrú. I hope I said, oh gosh, I just feel so self-conscious. Again, like usual, the Irish name and the English name is not necessarily correlation. It's off the River Boyne, and it's near Drogheda. If you've ever been to go to Drogheda too. You can see Oliver Plunkett's head in Drogheda. And I did, and I had pictures, and I don't have access to them right now. If you want to see a head, you can see his head. But it's a see, how old is it? It's a Neolithic tomb, a passage tomb made around 3200 BC. As they say here, making older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. Archicon says, now Newgrange is somewhere I'd like to go to for the monuments. Damn right. 5,000. Okay, there we are. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, because of the 2000. You gotta go. You gotta go. This is an aerial pic of it. Obviously, not my pick. And it's a what's it is a tomb, and it is like there's a passageway. It says here on the instructions consists of a large circular mound with an inner stone passageway and cruciform chamber, and burnt and unburnt human bones and possibly grave goods or votive offerings were found within this chamber. And one of the things that's really cool about this is it is a mastery of astronomy. Would that be the right word? Or architecture? Because it is lined up such that on winter solstice, it will naturally come in and light up the chamber if it's not clouds. It's always very disappointing when that happens. Deadman Walker says, don't forget to hit the like. Oh, yes, please. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Lurking. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's not my pick. Obviously, I wasn't flying around on a drone, but I like these aerial things. So this is my pick. Oh, this is on the way. Look how gorgeous it is. Oh my gosh, Ireland is so beautiful. We were very lucky. We had a lot of sunlight. Okay. For some reason, they held this in review, Potato Revan, and I hope it's showing. They're not letting, I don't think what you said was dirty at all. Oh well. All right, here it is. Here it is. You can see the stones out here with the old, like, circular thing. This is the entranceway. And up here is a little window where the sunlight comes in such a specific way and only on the solstice. You can get to be inside the tomb through lottery. And I think there's like a 3 days where it can work. And this year it was really exciting because it wasn't cloudy. So people got to see it. Often it just sucks to be you if it's cloudy and it doesn't work. On the other hand, people said even when that happens, it's still loads of fun. And the idea of being there before dawn is great. Oh, it now they let me show it. Okay, imagine attached to a little balloon, take pictures of regions and shoots down with a piece of Genie Mac. Summer solstice. They just did it. Wait. The sun thing works on the summer solstice too? I thought it was only the winter solstice. Yeah. Now they have a big party at the summer solstice. Oh, heck yes. A lot of, for lack of a better word, I guess, new age. A lot of people that practice the old things. Yeah, I was about to clear it. Oh, thank you. All right. It doesn't, as I said, winter solstice. Well, so here you are there. And yeah, you can only go in by a tour for obvious reasons. And hopefully people don't act too stupid and ruin it. All right, here you can see the people going into the passage. Yeah, there were some kids and the mother was really minding them. It's like, "Yeah, don't you mess this up, kids." Okay, Potato Reverend says, "Summer, top, bottom, winter." Oh, I did not know that. Here's a closer look at the little window thing. Not my pick, obviously, because I was never lucky enough to be in there for it, but this is what it looks like when it happens. It lights up everything. Now, when you go and visit, they have artificial lights. So, yes, you can see while you are inside there, but the fact that they were able to create it by location, height, astronomy, sun, angle, all of that to do this is just amazing. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, there's castles everywhere. Don't take a wrong turn or you'll end up in Tir na Nog. That Tir na Nog story, Oisin in Tir na Nog still scares me because he had to stay on his horse and not touch the ground, and it when he did, he, like, rapidly aged. It's awful. Oh, this was at the center at the New Grange. Apparently, what did I have here? Just some salad and I think shepherd's pie. I don't know, did I have shepherd's pie? I don't know which one was mine. They had some cheesecake and an eclair. It looks a little bigger than it is because I think the picture got a little distorted when I transferred it over, but very good food they have there. I really hope that's an eclair. It is an eclair. It looks longer than it is. Yes, the eclair's over there. See, American eclairs, ours is like all full of like sugary garbage, but over there, oh my gosh, it's just that amazing cream, homemade cream. Okay, this is Dublin Castle. Yeah, it's not an old one. I just have one picture and I just threw it in here. I don't know too much more about it. It's worth seeing, just like everything. All right, now we're going to move over to Trim. Give us so here's Drogheda, so we're like coming down south here. Trim is a town, but of course the location of Trim Castle, which is where a scene from Braveheart was filmed. Not my pick. This is an aerial picture of it. What makes Trim Castle so cool is it you can still see like the outline of all of the grounds, even though it's all not intact. Even the main part of it is not intact. It's not as safe, for example, as Blarney Castle. So when you go to visit Trim, you have to have a guided tour. And for goodness sake, listen to the tour guide. No one wants to die. So this is it from above. Oh, hardy har har, who knew mermaids could fly, says Archer Collins. All right, so this is my picture. Now we're on ground level. You can see here's the water with the bridge going over it, the various leftover ruins of the outposts of the outside, the little towers, and the main part here. Really, really cool castle. I mean, imagine this is just sitting in the middle of your town. Same thing if you live in Care. Look at this town. All right, this is moving up to the entrance, and this is where you get your tickets and the like. And I think that tours leave like every hour or so. Yep, that is a castle. It is one hell of a castle. Look, birds were hanging out. This is on the inside. The various floors are not there, so it's all open, but you can see where some windows. You really can't go in and out of the rooms the same way you can at Blarney Castle. It is completely different. and the windows are barred over because it's kind of a big window. It's not like Blarney Castle where they're very small. You can see more pictures. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be. Here is a view from the outside. Look at this. Isn't this great? You can see here's the little tower things, here's the moat, and even though it's not maybe necessarily part of the main castle area proper, but see, it went all the way out here, all the way around. You can see because the way towns and these settlements were, they would be like inside the walls. It'd be protection. So even if it wasn't the main part of it, it was part of the. Oh, it's the town. I don't want to make you all seasick with my arrow. I better move that over. Better shot here. See the wall and various areas. And even though that you can see stairs, you are not allowed to go in there. It is not safe up and down these. Unlike Care, where you could climb all over the place, you cannot. Archer Collins says the window there looks rather modern, but I wonder if those slits were so you could use longbow from the inside. Yes, that was part of it. You could get an arrow out, but it was harder to get an arrow in. Yeah, the towns were protected by the old lords who fancied themselves kings. Yes. Now, Trim was a Norman castle. Let me bring up some information here. I would recommend definitely going to Trim and staying in a hotel there. But if you don't want to do that, of course, you can stay around Dublin. All right. Oh, it says it is the largest Anglo-Norman fortification in Ireland. Hugh de Lacy and his successors took 30 years to build it. The castle is often called King John's Castle, although when he visited the town, he preferred to stay in his tent on the other side of the river. Richard II visited Trim in 1399 and left Prince Hall, later Henry V, as prisoner in the castle. Well, you heard it here first. Yeah. When was it built? Does it say when it was built? I think the first one was like at the location, it was 1172. But like a lot of these places, there were different kinds of fortifications at the location. Oh my gosh. Normans were just Vikings who drank wine. I have oral history to confirm that with their shiny metal hats. Oh, at least they weren't French. It depends on what your definition of Normandy is. They all were speaking French. Oh, okay, there we go, Potato Revan. All right, he said it. Oh, you said it. They were French. LOL. They are from Normandy and France. Yeah, but again, some people in Normandy don't consider themselves French. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Potato Revan lies. The French never beat anyone. Like I said, from a certain point of view. I mean, England, for crying out loud, most of their kings well into what, Henry V? Or is it Henry IV? I forget. They were all French speakers. French was their first language. I know that was the case with Henry II. I'm English, says Archer Collin. They were from a part of France that we used to own anyways. You see, I love this. I love this history. Dad man walking, got to leave work and need to head out. Love this. Have to finish later. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate you being here. And as always, especially watching, helping me get those watch hours. Sometimes it's like a wave. You got to stay ahead of it because every 365 days, that's the way the watch hours work. So let's say yesterday, 365 days ago, I had 30 more hours, and today I lost them. But I've been staying ahead. I do appreciate everyone's support. Don't say it. Oh dear. Oh dear. And this is another view from the castle. Just lovely view. I believe this is also a part of it or an outpost. And this is more typical of what you will see in Ireland. This is the view I know and am used to: rain, gray clouds, wind, and all that stuff. Ed Archiclone says, I think it was Edward III who was the first one to speak English as a first language. That could be. That could be. Archiclone, I'm from Ireland, a place England used to own. Or did they? Hmm. Well, I mean, technically, I'm an American. The English used to own us too. And part of me's wondering if we didn't make a mistake. Oh, dear. Oh, gosh. They're trying to be a bit. All right, they're going back and forth a bit. I think that everyone can agree that the, the French, oh, the poor French. Oh, here are some shots from Braveheart that were filmed there. There was a night battle, and as Potato says, yes, England used to own a lot of people and places. Or rather, they conquered. Did they ever own us? We kept our pride. Added some things here, some people with their costumes. All right. Shoot. All right. Calm down, kids. Calm down, kids. I think you all are joking, but just in case you're not. Monaster Boycha. You may miss it. Blink and you'll miss Monaster Boycha. But do go. Do go. It's north of Drogheda. Actually, I should have done, if I'd done this in order, I would have done New Grange and Monaster Boycha together. Now, Monaster Boycha is kind of like the name says. It was an old monastery, and it is, let's see, in Irish it's Moinsteer. Oh gosh, I am gonna butcher it. It's the ruins of an early monastic monastery. Let's see. And they're like a lot of these, a national monument. It was established in the 5th century and disestablished in 1097. So, unlike the ones that for disappeared in the 16th century, no, this was just one that just fell out of use. Yes. Yeah, Joker. Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Just checking. Just checking. And sometimes it's hard to tell what they're writing, or maybe if people are coming in and they're thinking, "Oh my gosh, these guys are being hostile." It's like, no. So here is again not my pick. This is it from the top. It is still used as a monastery. The people in the local town have like the right to be buried there, and I swear it like goes back to about 1,000 years. That so you can be buried in there. And let me see. It is the monastery of Buithe, an Anglicization of something or other. Saint Boot, is that how you pronounce him? He was the one who started it. And little is known about the monastery except for a list of abbots. It fell into ruin after the establishment of the Cistercian Millefort Abbey nearby in 1142. And a parochial church was in use at the location by the 13th century. And even today, while it is not it's not an active parish, they still will do processions there, and I think it's on the feast of that saint, they do have permission to say mass. And one of the guys there, the guide was telling us, the old man who, you know, gave us the leaflets and things, He's like they all come out in the dark, and it's just really, really beautiful because it's in December. Yay. Yes, yes, you can't be buried there if you're not from the town. Precisely. Mhm. Yay. Um, I think that's cool. I think that's cool that they still have these. And as you can see, some of the more ancient parts and the tower. Now, those kind of towers are very distinctive that you'll find in these old monasteries. See, and they're making it clear that the remains are two churches, but it is most famous for its high crosses, and you'll see why. That they have some very well preserved, badass, if you can use that word, badass crosses, Celtic crosses. But before we get there, I love these. You'll are these called styes? It it's a way of getting over a wall or something, where there's, like, little steps on one side, and you crawl up to the top, and you crawl down the bottom. You'll see them at hedgerows, and there is one of these to get into Monaster Boycha. Or if you can see the gate there, you can just walk through. And let's see. I'll talk about the crosses in a second, but first, let's look at the tower. See, the top of it has issues for um it's not completely intact. You can see the little windows in the side. Says the round tower is about 28 meters tall, and it was likely built shortly after 968, but damaged by a fire in 1098. And of course, these round towers, they were distinctive, that they were towers found mainly in Ireland. You might find some in Scotland. They were bell towers, so they may have been used for additional purpose, and they were found within the vicinity of a church or a monastery, with the door of the tower facing the west doorway of the church. And they usually have the entrance well away from the ground. They'll be like 20 feet off the ground. I think sometimes because people would occasionally, there were thoughts that people would use it for protection, so they'd pull up the ladder behind you. On the other hand, I was told at Glendalough, if you were being invaded, you didn't want to find yourself caught in one of those towers, because there was nowhere to go. That if you were being invaded, the best thing what to do was to head for the hills. But gosh, just look at this stuff. It's amazing. I mean, more than 1,000 years old. Archer Collins says they look a little like minarets, although if they were a few centuries earlier, I'd wonder if they were something for hermits. Yeah, yeah. Bell towers, for lack of a better word, and lookout towers. Lookout towers. It is Biggles. Oops, wrong account. It's okay. Biggles Mets. Do you have another account besides Biggles Mets? Okay, they used to store their stuff in there, but the invaders built large ladders and or burned it. Oh, it was the invaders that built the large ladders. Okay. Yeah, do you know why they would be up so high? Because again, I think the myth was it was for protection, but not really. I don't know. Archer Collins says the 900s would probably be a bit late for early warning towers, but maybe not. Yeah. And I think it really was a a church thing. I need to do more research before I say too much, because I know there's so many different theories. Oh, Biggles has the right account. Well, good. Yeah, the one I've had forever. You know, the Santa hat one. Yes, correct. Because it's in Mod Powers. Yes, you do. It- I guess it's too late to take off your Santa hat. I mean, we are well beyond Christmas. We've been through Lent. We've been through Easter. We're now in ordinary time. Pretty soon it's going to be Advent. So you may as well just leave your hat on. Potato Ribbon says the ground was so wet, moisture would rise, also kept him away from thieves. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I remember being taught like the thing about protection when I was a little kid, but that those are myths. But that is a very practical. practical reason for it. Next next time. Hopefully I could get my buttocks to Ireland. I want to go around and see more of these. The ones that I have seen personally, ones like in the West, I have no idea where or when it was. I have some pictures from when I was a little girl there, but the one here at Monaster Boycha, the one at Glendalough, and the one at St. Bridget's. I have not taken it off for 2 years. Wow, you are dedicated. Archicon, I'm thinking of Vikings, but then the last actual Viking raid in England was 1066, so they may well have been still raiding in Ireland. Yeah. No, it was pretty much over by then. But there's all thieves and things because they all got Christianized, willingly or unwillingly. So the fun was over, and they settled and married and hung out. All right, let's continue. Okay, here's one of the crosses. Let's see. The 3 crosses date from the 10th century and form part of the scriptural group showing biblical scenes. The 5 feet 5 meter Meredith's High Cross is regarded as the finest high cross in the whole of Ireland. Let me make sure. Is it this one? I believe it is this one. Yes. Want to make sure I had this correct. Murdoch, it is named after an abbot, Murdoch MacDonoil. I hope I said that right, who died in 923 and features biblical carvings of both the Old and New Testaments of the Bible. The North and West crosses are also notable examples of this kind of structure, but they have suffered much more from the effects of weather. You can see them here. So it's these 3 crosses in the tower, which makes this such a sight. And things like crosses or stained glass windows and even statues, they had a pedagogical purpose. Because remember, not everyone could read, but they would tell stories. So that is one of them. Do I have another view? Okay, you can see them here. And then the other crosses. Oh, well, we already talked about the other crosses. So there's 3 of them, and they are magnificent. You will see so-called, Celtic crosses everywhere, but this one takes a cake. And then look at that. I was very proud of this picture. You can see some of the ruins of the old church, the Celtic cross, and the bell tower, or the tower, round tower. Oh my gosh, Ireland is so beautiful. And the testament to the people's faith. I mean, these things are 1,000 years old. Just beautiful. Oh dear, Archercon. Murdoch, did he solve mysteries? Joking, but I learned quite a bit about the Irish Rite version in the early church from Sister Filmelda stories. Ah, yes. Yeah, the whole idea of there being a uniform liturgy and the way of doing things is a very modern concept. Things were very local in the church and had local customs and traditions. I don't know too much about the ancient Irish liturgy, but I do know the Anglican one because that is my heritage. And of course, at the time of the Reformation, while it was abrogated and outlawed by Elizabeth and all them, technically it never was abrogated because no person has that authority. So it's still licit and you can still celebrate mass or go to mass and find that liturgy in England and in the United States and Canada. And that's it. That is our Dublinish Teresa Travels. I had loads of fun with this. It's just so beautiful. Everything's so beautiful about it. What does Potato Worm said? Those crosses are absolutely everywhere. Those crosses are viewed like it is Irish. Yes, correct. It's It's an honest it's just the way you did things, There's a really famous one in, Cashel. Archer Collins says, "I believe the decision due to the Roman rights was made at the Synod of Whitby in 600, the same as certain Transylvanian count landed." Interesting. So you're saying Dracula is behind all that? Makes a good story. Makes a very good story. Who's writing me? Oh, mom. My mother wants me to call. Oh, I hate my life. Now people are wanting to have a birthday thing going. Okay, so I am gonna have to ditch you all because I have family. But I'm really glad this happened because I forgot it's my niece's birthday coming up. So I need to get her something. I have 2 days. But yes, everyone's texting me. I'm like, I'm a bad aunt. I'm a bad aunt. But this was perfect timing because we did get to the end of this. I would love, stay tuned, Potato Revan. We'll stay in touch in the Twitter, because I don't want to spring something like this on you. But if you're open for some more Irish history stuff, maybe a stream, not this month, not, I'm looking maybe in August or September. Let's talk. Let's talk because this is this is what I was around, but I didn't understand. You know what I mean? Because even at school, you would hear the stories, but it's like, oh, this is boring. This is history. I hate my life. And you're like, no, no, it's all so beautiful. Archer Collins says, "Not really. I just found it interesting coincidence that he landed the same place an important church even occurred." Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, it's all fun games. Of course, yes, excellent, excellent. Yeah, I love the history of Cork, and I didn't realize what I was standing on until much later, much later. So yes, it looks like my family. We got to do something for my niece's birthday that I completely forgot about. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for supporting Miss Martin Muses and everything that we are doing. It is just a blast to see everyone here. We have Biggles Metz, we had Archer Collin. Archer Collin, you've been amazing. And you know what, Archer Collin, stay tuned. If you know like your history or your archery, uh, I'm a historian. I love it, and I think that would be fascinating as well. Bye, have fun. Yes, we will. Yes, Pub Crawl is going to be with Biggles Metz this Thursday. I think we said 6 o'clock Central. Have you thought of a topic? I forgot if we've come up with a topic or not. Stay tuned. He will be next. And then Monday will be Salty Traveling Sea, where we're going to talk about whiskeys and drinks. Or a little bit of my bartending history. Potato Revan, as always, thank you for being here. Dadman Walking. Let me see. I think I got everyone. A few people came in and waved. Rocky the Black Dragon, etc. Potato Revan. But I've already said Potato Revan. It is hard because it all goes real fast here. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow for my stream. I'm gonna be live streaming every day till I get my daggone hours because I'm so close. It's killing me. It's killing me to monetization. But also stay tuned for some videos that I will be doing as well. Saturday will be our final book stream. It's gonna be amazing, absolutely amazing. We've done it for 2 years, and it will be our 10th book with which we are finishing Magician Master. It is Zombie Box Reviews. Hey, great to see you. I'm just getting ready to leave because I forgot my niece had a birthday. I not let's see. Hi and bye. Yes, please lurking. Okay, you can CMO case. Oh, if you're free in 3 hours or Friday, we're doing true crime. Okay, you know what? We shall see. I might actually be on an airplane. I'm planning to fly out on. I had to delay my flight, but I will definitely stay tuned for that. Gonna end here. Oh my gosh, Castles and Crusades. Holy crud. I'll tell you what, this is amazing. This is really is amazing because I love this. I just need to get on an airplane and get over there. Tell my family, forget it. Forget your needs. No, I love my family. I'll see what can happen. Well, have a great day, everyone. Have a great day and be certain to get your butt to Ireland and go see these places.